Okay, back with you for another video tutorial on our micro job sites, and that's making money with Fiverr. What we're going to do now is briefly review email questions and communications from potential buyers. Now, essentially, when you talk about the inbox here, and we'll go ahead and click on this, these are communications from they could be people seeking your services to know exactly what your services are to get more detail. It could be former buyers asking if you're available, or it could be a lot of things. So make sure that you always check your inbox. Because again, if you neglect this, you are literally, and let's go on down, you're literally leaving money on the table from a gig or a micro job perspective. Now, that is different than the inbox is different than buyer questions. Again, the inbox is different than buyer questions or buyer responses, and we will get to exactly what buyer instructions and buyer response is in a later video tutorial. However, what we're going to do is we'll look at this. Oh, that's interesting. Uh, we just saw this, and Lavana is actually the lady of she's purchased from us before, and she is interested in local SEO or local search engine optimization. She was a great customer of ours, and as you see, the amazing thing is, especially, and we'll just use. What we do or what we did is writing blog posts is this lady is a wonderful writer. She really is, because she writes very long and detailed emails, and we've communicated back and forward, and her standards are very exacting, and as you could see, she's ordered from us before with the one sale here. So with that said, she asked a question, and we opened it. What you will see is, if you don't open it, these will be it. So this is our banner creator here, and essentially. This is the lady who created our banners we showed you. She just does wonderful, wonderful work. So all we are saying, folks, is when you go down, you will get to, especially with the people who you've already did work for. They will communicate, ask basic questions about what you can do, and when they email you, especially former buyers, they could order a gig, but even with spending as few as $5, they want reassurances that you could do the work, and that is why former buyers, as you can see, we wrote an article for Glenn, and we had to get really radical with her blog post. And we said that to say this is that even though it's just $5, when you're communicating with your buyers, understand that sometimes you have to go above and beyond to meet their needs. And what you do in that moment is you create a lifetime customer. Let's go ahead and deal with Gwen really quickly. We'll quick on Gwen, and she doesn't have her profile set up too good anyway. Nevertheless, Gwen is one of our she's one of our customers, uh, and she was new to internet marketing. She got sucked into, one of those make $2,000 a day offer, and she was really inexperienced with internet marketing. This was her first time out. So we actually not only wrote the article for her, we cut and pasted it into this affiliate website that was very complicated to navigate, and we SEO'd or search engine optimized her article for top maximum ranking. So Gwen was actually asked, can you post some really good content? And we didn't really do that, but at the same time, we under sometimes your heart will bleed for people because you see where they're at. You see they're just trying to get started. So all we're saying is you don't want to automatically cut people off and say, "Hey, this is what I promised and I delivered," and leave it there, because. And let me give you a picture of this. The picture of this is next time we put up our gig, and we're going to do this right in front of you. Gwen might not just spend $5 to get us to write. Gwen might spend 20 with our gig extras, and you'll get to know what that is. So go above and beyond if you feel it's appropriate. Don't make a habit of it, because the truth is people will use you to do as much as you can for $5. So we want you to uh, be careful. Sosid actually ordered like $20 worth of articles from us in a week. Great customer. So once we get our gig started back, we are sure Sosa will show up to get more articles. So again, we don't want to spend too long on this, but understand you want to be as responsive as possible, and these come to you in your email inbox. But we recommend once we show you how to set up gigs, once your gigs are rolling, that you go to this site at least once a day, because gig delivery time, or the time that you state I'll deliver this gig in 2 days, or I'll deliver it in 24 hours, is critical for your online or your Fiverr reputation. We'll get into exactly what that is in a little while. The next thing that we certainly want to do is we're going to go back to payments really quickly for you, and we want to just point something out. We want to just really point something out and make this very, very clear to you. And we'll go to manage sales and revenue. We'll go to completed, and this is different. Now, we talked about people pre-buying, if you will. People ask you questions, are you available, so on and so forth, with those types of things. However, one thing that is different is, let's go to Mr. Brown. We believe it was Mr. Brown. We believe it was Mr. Brown. No, we'll just take this. So Tin Shop Art, this is another person that gave us negative feedback, and they were really out of order. They didn't understand what they wanted, and we actually had to go to their Facebook profile and fix this, because Fiverr had no way to challenge negative feedback. Again, this was a customer that we flipped from a negative feedback to positive, explaining, hey, this is what you ordered. How do we fix this? And we said that to say this is that this is really critical. This is really critical, and this is how you're going to communicate with your buyer. Now, we said, do you want me to source keywords? And then we had some email, uh, uh, and he admits it right here. This is why buyer, as well as communicating with people who pre buy, who want to buy from you, it's critical for those who do. So with that said, I don't understand what you sent me. I thought it was a write up for a journalist who would write. I don't know. It was HTML only. Again, he made the mistake, and all we had to do, and we'll go ahead and we'll open this article for you, just so you could see what we delivered them. And it's really just important that you see this. So when communicating with people who've already spent money with you, it is important that you are in exchange with them. It's not only important that you're in exchange with them, it's very important that you remind them that you will do revisions, or ask the question, does this meet your expectations? Most people are great, but you will have these knuckleheads, and I hate to call it that, but that's what it is, that will really just will ruin your reputation for pretty much nothing. And this was the article he asked for. It was original content. We did everything we could. So communicating with pre-buys and people have already purchased is incredible. So with that said, we flipped this from a negative feedback to positive, and we had to go out and do the work, folks. All we are saying is, when you're communicating, it is important, whether it's inbox or pre-buys, or whether communicating through buyer instructions, response to buyers, it is important to manage your reputation in a way that you will know that they understand you are committed to them, even though it's just $5. That way, that's how we got to be a level 2 seller in like 2 weeks. Now, level 2 seller, you have to complete 50 orders or whatever that is, but it's also based upon your reputation or your feedback. So feedback boils down to not even so much delivering great products, but great communications. So with that said, we want you to join us for our next video tutorial, which will certainly be on customer reviews. We're going to just go over customer reviews, and we'll just briefly talk about what that means, how you respond, can you give positive feedback to buyers, what that does for you. So stay with us.